Have you ever found yourself chasing success, only to wonder if you're missing what really matters in God's eyes? Because what the world calls success, money, fame, status, often leaves us empty. But the Bible speaks of a kind of success that doesn't fade, doesn't compromise, and doesn't leave you feeling hollow. Today, let's talk about what the Bible really says about success. And I promise, it's probably not what you've been hearing. I remember a season where I landed a job I thought would define me. Great title, decent pay. Everyone said, "You made it." But every night I went home feeling like something was missing. I wasn't failing, I just wasn't aligned. That's when I started asking a deeper question. What does God call success? It's about being faithful. It's not about building platforms. It's about building purpose. You weren't made to chase the spotlight. You were made to follow the shepherd. The world defines success by numbers, your salary, your followers, your resume. But God doesn't check your LinkedIn. He looks at your heart. Joshua 1:8 says, "Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night. Then you will be prosperous and successful." See the difference? Real success? It begins with His word, not your grind. Because it flows from alignment, not hustle. Psalm 1 paints the same picture. The person who delights in God's law is like a tree planted by streams of water, deep roots, lasting fruit, quiet strength. Let's look at Joseph, betrayed, enslaved, falsely accused. Not exactly a LinkedIn highlight reel. Scripture keeps repeating, "The Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered." Success didn't mean comfort, it meant God's presence in the middle of pain. Or David. Yes, he defeated Goliath. But what set him apart was his heart for God. That's what made him a success. And of course, Jesus. No mansion, no wealth, no social media empire, but he finished his assignment. That's real success. The Bible warns us about chasing success the world's way. Proverbs 23:4 says, "Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich." That's a trap. Jesus asked in Matthew 16:26, "What good is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul?" When we start chasing applause over obedience, we miss the point. When we build platforms but neglect our character, we drift. Success, if it costs your soul, isn't success. So, how do we pursue the kind of success God celebrates? Stay in the Word. Let Scripture shape your definition of winning. Be faithful where you are. Promotion comes from God, not from forcing doors open. Serve others. Greatness in God's kingdom always looks like service. Stay humble. Nothing ruins fruit faster than pride. Let God lift you. True success is a slow build. Quiet roots, consistent obedience, and peace that doesn't depend on performance. You might not feel successful right now. Maybe no one's clapping. Maybe no one's watching. But if you're walking with God, you are right where you need to be. Success is doing what God asked you to do, even if it's unseen, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you're still waiting for the breakthrough. You are already more successful than you think. Remember how we started, wondering if God sees our efforts? He does, and He defines success differently. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment saying, "Success is obedience." Share this with a friend who needs to reset their definition of success. And hit subscribe for more truth, hope, and encouragement every week. God isn't done with your story. In fact, He's just getting started.